had so much adrenaline that I did this big slide down the pole. I did this big slide from the top all the way to the bottom into the splits.
Is there a name for that?
I don't
Or you
know.
invented it?
I definitely didn't invent it, but I guess just a split drop.
Uh-huh.
And I pulled my hamstring off the bone.
In a sexy way?
In
I think this is a nice jumping off point. I already wanted you on the podcast to talk about voice acting and voice work, and then like just for the fun side of it, and then also because you're someone like me who wants to talk about AI and how icky and yucky and all of the stuff coming with AI. But then you were especially front of mind, and I jumped into your DMs when I saw your poster and the description for the poster coming up. So I want to read this to the audience so it's in their head because I want to hear about it. What if there was a daycare center for grown men? If your husband or boyfriend can't be trusted to be left on their own, don't worry. Leave them with me and let me entertain them. I'll open wide so they can come inside. With crude craft, pervy puppets, and sexy sing-alongs, your men will be kept busy. And don't worry, there's plenty of me to play with. Extremely bold copy and doesn't sound like any other show. So already I'm like, okay, I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
And there's so many topics. We haven't talked much about sex and everything under that category of the more risque genre on the podcast, especially because if I'm uncomfortable, I start putting on a little voice. But it's such an important thing to tackle. But then I was in. That was the advertising copy that you put in the Instagram, and then underneath it is the more personal stuff, which intrigued me even further. I felt pulled to make this show for years, and I'm finally doing it. Daddy Daycare is the clearest expression of who I am as a comedian, a risque clown show shaped by my work as both a children's entertainer and a stripper, and the unexpected similarities between the two. Writing this piece feels like a love letter to my younger self. If I'm going to be objectified, it's going to be on my terms, and I'm going to make it funny. Oh my goodness. Like that. Like that
That's
says,
my show.
there's so much going on there that I want to get into because, I mean, number one, it doesn't sound like any other show. You've
Yeah.
really thrown down a gauntlet with this. So tell us about like where are we at in the development of the show, and you've been thinking about the show for years. So
Yeah.
tell me about that.
Well, yeah, I worked as a children's entertainer for about 10 years. And I also worked as a stripper as well at the same time while I was also doing that.
Different parts of the
And
day. Mm,
different, yeah, not at the same time,
mm,
obviously.
mm.
I
Some listeners are stupid.
People do ask the question. They were like, "Did you ever do events for both?" And I was like, "No. What do you
That's
think?"
a dumb question,
Yeah,
Marcel.
yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of my stand-up material is about the similarities between the two and using the same script for both children's entertaining and stripping, and having to treat men like children to make them
Can you give us
behave.
give me some of that. Yeah, how is it similar?
So I have this bit that I do for my stand-up sets where I'm talking like I this is the script I use for both, and I say, I hear someone's having a birthday. Look how big you are, so big and strong. Now I've got a special dance for your birthday. Would you like to see? You would? Okay, well, we need to keep our hands to our.
Self.
That's right. Very clever.
I need the listener to know how uncomfortable I am right now.
Marcel is sweating, pushing his hair like over his eyes. And then the only difference is that one they're calling you mommy, and the other one there's kids there.
They're calling their mummy to go.
Yeah.
Please pick me up.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness gracious.
But I mean, there's at a lot. They're always both high on something, sugar or otherwise, and I mean, you need to really entertain people because when you're stripping, it's you're selling your body essentially. You'd have to sell private dances, and you really need to keep that energy up and that kind of facade up so that people will spend the money and you'll make money. And then when you're doing kids entertaining, it is so high energy to try and keep the kids engaged the whole time, and you're in this character. You're kind of putting on a character for both. So
Both of them is
Yeah.
this well crafted act of I
Yep.
really want to be here, and
Yeah.
the most important thing for me right now is entertaining you. I couldn't dream of being anywhere else right now.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly it. It's like pretending that you're this facade of you're having the time of your life.
Mm.
Um,
And this person is the
yeah.
most special person,
Yeah.
which is a great skill to have to make someone feel special. Because then in the comedy world, so let's start tracking some of these things and where they sort of came, and let's
Mm.
go into Steph origin story. We've planted a really great uh just patting myself on the back, really great little story block here, and then let's do a little flashback.
Yeah.
So how does this come to be children's performer slash stripper? And then we'll talk about where the comedy comes into it as well.
As in, how did I get to be that?
Yeah.
So I studied music theater straight out of high school. I went to ShowFit, which is like a foundation music theater course.
Hmm.
And then I, as a lot of music theater people do, I was doing kids entertaining on the
Hmm.
weekends to make
Gotta find
money.
some work.
Yeah.
What sort of stuff, like children's birthday
Yeah,
parties
kids'
or
birthday
yeah.
parties. It was
Hmm.
all kids' birthday parties.
Princesses.
I was
Hmm.
doing all the princesses. The first year I started doing kids' parties was the year that Frozen came out.
Hmm.
So I have done, I think it was close to 2,000 Frozen parties. Like
2000.
just Frozen
Shouldn't there be
parties.
like some sort of honor march that is in
There
your
should
wow,
be.
it's incredible.
There should be. And then yeah, and then I just kept getting requests to do kids parties at people's houses for people I knew, and so I started doing that on the side. And then I just kept building traction because at every party you go to, there's 20 other kids that are all having birthdays as well. The parents are like, "Can we book you too?" And then so it was just kind of word of mouth. I was like, I might as well start a little business. So I started my business, and then until it just kept getting, building up more, and
And as you're
until
doing this, was there another like a voice in your head going, "Yeah, but what about the music theater and what about quote unquote legit, bigger, exciting
yeah,
things?"
I think after I did my course, I was like, I hate this industry. I was like, I don't know. I felt like everyone was very, um, would be friends with you if they thought you could help get them somewhere. And
Hmm.
so it was weird. It was like, in my course, I could feel people wanting to be friends with me when they thought I was good at something, and I was like, oh, this is so fake, and I was like, I
Yeah,
don't like it.
gross.
But I auditioned for all the big schools, and I didn't get into one. I auditioned for a few years in a row, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm not
The writing is on the wall.
maybe I'm not cut out for this. So yeah, I just stuck with kids entertaining.
Hmm. And did you
And
begin to see some meaningful income as a result of that?
yeah, absolutely. So I was just doing that for 10 years. I was primarily doing that.
Wow.
And then when did I decide to? I think I've been doing pole dancing for a long time as
Hmm.
my form of fitness. I danced growing up as well, so I have a dance kind of background, and I always loved flirting with people, but that was it. I was like, I want to flirt with you, but then I don't want to do anything. So I was like, well, I might as well try stripping. I'd always wanted to try it. I think I had the idea for a few years. I was like, I would ask people that were already doing it, and I was like, what is
Mm.
it like? And I was like, oh, I think I could do that.
Might as well is just such a phrase that I don't feel like appears next to stripping that often.
Well, I was like, might as well. Yeah. Could make some money. I can already pole dance. I
Mm.
can already flirt.
Is there, because so often the pole dancing for fitness world
Mm.
seems to be its own little world delineated from stripping. Are there many other people in the class going, you know what, I might try and give it a go too?
You know what? I have no idea. No one
Right.
really talked about it. I think there was there was definitely people that were strippers in the pole dancing class.
Hmm.
But I do know of people that were doing the classes and then were like, oh yeah, might as well. But I think most people
Might
just did
as
it
well.
for might as well.
And also,
That's how,
there's nothing against me
yeah.
saying might as well. Just I just don't hear might as well start stripping.
It's
And I guess this is also like the
yeah.
movies and TV has a lot to answer for, because often in movies and TV shows it's someone down on their luck who's going, I guess I'm getting into stripping now. But for you, it was the opposite. And so
Yeah.
rewrite the narrative in my mind. What sort of people are you meeting in the green room?
at the club.
Mm.
So, I mean, a lot of people that started because they were like, might as well. Most people start because they're like, I
Yeah,
guess I can
great.
make money doing this, so why not? You can make so much more money than a quote unquote normal job.
And this is the world we're in now as well,
Mm.
the OnlyFans world and the more empowering world. And once again, can correct or confront me on any of these assumed details, but it seems to be a world where people are going, I'm going to empower myself and I'm going to take more control. I can
Yeah.
either do this shit kicking job and make very little cash, or I can do this other job that was once considered or sometimes is still considered in a certain way, but
Yeah.
gosh, it's worth it for the money.
But it's really there's a lot of women who are neurodivergent
Mm.
that are strippers. A lot of people that struggle with a normal job. A lot of people that really struggle with consistent schedule.
And you're talking about stripping, not stand-up comedy right now?
There is a big overlap in the type of people that do stripping and stand-up comedy. Yeah, neurodivergent people, people that struggle with consistent schedules. Is it a shock that I have fallen to both? Who knows? Um, but yeah, it's a lot of women who have struggled with other forms of work, and they're like, well, I feel like this is what I can do.
Mm, the
There's
lifestyle suits.
yeah, there's also the element of masking as well, and being able to change your persona and change your personality to suit different clients and kind of know how to be who they want,
Mhm.
which a lot of people find really that they can do quite easily, that have masked their whole lives, or it's been a real struggle for them. They find that's a real asset in the club as well.
Yeah, so good at code switching.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, so what were those early days, early months, early years like? Because yeah, well, yeah, let's just start the early days. What was your first impression?
So when you first audition you have to audition for the club. You
Yeah, everything's an audition.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can't you just, I'm here, aren't I?
Yeah, they don't just let anyone in. So you have to do a dance on the main stage, in front of while the club is open in front of customers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Just like stand up.
you've got to do two songs. You do one in lingerie, and then you do one completely naked. So, and it was the first time I'd done anything like that,
Mm.
and you're doing it in front of an audience.
When you say completely naked, you strip down to completely naked.
You strip down, yeah. So in the second song, you take all your clothes off, and you're like,
Mhm.
I have never done this before. But you just
Wow.
have to kind of put on a brave face and be like, I love this.
Did you practice at home?
Yeah. So
you've
I'd
done your
practice
routine.
I'd practice my routine. I'd practice how I was gonna, take everything off sexily.
And hey guys, I've been to a strip club maybe twice, and this is not to yeah, I bet, but literally twice.
Yep.
It seemed to be that there's like a routine of like you do like a couple of songs, like the first song you're down to
Yep.
certain amount of dress, and then the second or so. Yeah, is there a sort of formula to it?
Yeah. So the first song is you kind of get undressed at the same point because you're like, I don't want to be undressed for longer than I have to be.
It's the ending.
Yeah. So, but you have to get undressed by a certain point in the song, or you get a fine from the club. Yeah.
What?
So you have to be undressed in the first 30 seconds of the second song, or you get a fine
Yeah,
from the
right.
club. Or if someone tips you on stage, you have to take more clothes off.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
But there's
it's
only so many clothes to take
There's
off.
only two items. You're only wearing two things. So we have to take them off earlier.
Uh-huh.
If someone's tipping you on
And
the
then
stage.
then you got to improvise after that, like, cause you
Yeah.
had a certain expectation of when that, I'm gonna map everything to other forms of
Yeah.
showbiz, but I was gonna do that joke at this part of the show, and now I've accidentally done it earlier because I segued into it, and now what do I got to finish on?
I mean, doing a dance is a bit different to doing stand up because you can just do a different move. You learn, you get a few moves that you just kind of switch between.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, first I'll do the body roll, then I'll do the thing on the floor, and then I'll do this thing with my legs in the air. And then you just kind of can rotate.
I'll go back to
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
But be prepared. Unlike in stand up, where I've had nightmare moments, if I'm doing two shows in one night, or I've done a lot of back to back shows, I might be in the middle of a bit going, oh my God, have I done this to this very
Mhm.
audience?
Mhm.
Are they looking at me weird because I'm saying the same joke to them?
Yep.
Doesn't apply to a dance move where they're going, we've
No.
already seen the legs in the air.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
wow, we liked it the first time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Then do it again. Yeah. Um,
So how was that audition? Like, it's first time you're doing it in front of people.
yeah.
Did it feel exciting? Did it feel nerve-wracking? What was it?
I had so much adrenaline going in because I was like, oh, this is so um confronting, but also I was excited. It was just I just had to do it.
Mm.
Once you're on stage, you have to follow through with it. But I had so much adrenaline, and I'd rehearsed my
Do
routine.
they introduce you as someone new to the club? How do you get introduced?
They say over the loudspeaker, they're like, and coming up, it's my name was Raven in the club.
Mm.
I had black hair at the time, so they're like, I'm coming up, it's Raven, and they just come out.
Cool name as well.
Thank you.
Mm.
And yeah, but I had so much adrenaline that I did this big slide down the pole. I did this big slide from the top all the way to the bottom into the splits.
Mm. Is there
Um,
a name for that?
I don't
Or you
know.
invented it?
I didn't invent definitely didn't invent it, but I guess just a split drop.
Uh-huh.
And I pulled my hamstring off the bone.
In a sexy way?
In I kept a smile on my face.
Oh, man.
But of course I was like, I don't want them to know that I've hurt myself
Mm.
because they'll think I am doing tricks that I can't actually do.
You're a
And
liability.
yeah,
Mm.
exactly. So, and that was the very start of my first routine. And so then I had to do two routines with my hamstring in agony. And
Mm.
I was like having to be all sexy. I was like, ugh. And then I hobbled off the stage and they were like, you're hired, you're hired. Do you want to work tonight? And I was like, no.
Oh, I'm actually, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually got somewhere to be in the
So
morning.
just to clarify, one song before you were hired on the first song?
After the two songs. So
Two
once
songs.
I got off stage.
Lingerie, nude,
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
and do you wanna work tonight? That's exciting.
yeah.
It's
Uh,
exciting, like, just because once again, everything comes back to that sort of stand-up thing of feeling like, "Oh, they like me."
yeah.
Like, my first stand-up night was one that had, like, a competition element to it of if you were the best on the night, then you don't have to bring friends to the next one because it was a
Oh yeah.
bringer show, and I was the best on the night, and that was, like,
Yes.
very, encouraging in that way of going, "Oh, cool, this
Yeah.
thing that I thought I'd might as well have a go
Yeah, yeah,
at
yeah.
was really nice to have that." So, despite the fact that you couldn't do it because of the injury,
Mhm.
how did that feel to be welcomed in?
Yeah, great. I was like, I'm so hot. Like
Did you did because as we say, you got kicked back by the musical theater auditions. What is your how is your self-confidence at that time? And then we can talk about how it is these days. Like, what's your relationship with self-confidence?
the I mean I always it's always pretty hard to get rejection. I think um working in so much creative industry, you get so much rejection, especially when you're doing a lot of auditions.
Mm,
And so our course kind of prepared us for that, but I think that I had a lot riding on needing to get into these one of these schools to be to be a professional theater person.
to be legitimate.
Yeah, and so then when I didn't get in, it was a bit, not only was it the rejection, but it was that, oh, then it's like, can I not have that whole career?
Yeah, this is who I
Um,
wanted to be. This is who I
yeah.
am.
And so I've definitely got a lot better at handling rejection as I've gotten older.
Can you bomb as a stripper?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you can bum as a stripper because I actually went back and auditioned for the same club a few years after I'd worked there
Right.
and I didn't get in.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I didn't get in, so I bombed my second stripping
Oh
audition.
no. Did you
Yeah.
come in too confident or something?
No, I think I hadn't danced in a couple of years and I think
Mm.
I was just really out of practice.
I'm picturing myself now because I used to dance a lot more
Yeah.
for fun, and I just sort of assumed that would always
Yeah.
be there, and then now it seems to be only weddings is the only time that there's like a dance floor in my
Yeah.
life, and I'll go into that dance floor and go, Where's my rhythm? Where's my sense of fun?
Yeah.
So now I'm picturing you just doing some really crappy like thumbs and wrist movements on the
And I don't
stage.
know why they didn't like it.
Is this anything?
Yeah. Here's me. I'm like trying to hoist myself up the pole. They can hear me going like, ah!
They liked it when I tore my hamstring. I'll do that again.
Yeah.
So how long were you working in that work?
I was working there for about a year. So
Mhm.
it was about a year
And
consistently.
how did you find the balance between the day work and the night work?
It was really hard.
Mm,
It was really hard because you're working nights, and so your night doesn't start until 8 p.m.
mm.
And so, and you,
That's when I'm winding down for the
yeah,
evening.
exactly. So you have to work an 8 hour shift. Yeah,
Really?
you have to work an 8 hour shift. Everything in the club comes with fines. So if you work less than 8 hours, you get a fine. If you come in late, you get a fine.
Wow.
So you
Where's
have,
the HR department?
oh, they don't have an HR department. They do have a house mother who
Uh-huh.
looks after you, but they're very strict about their rules. So you have to work 8 hours. So you have to work 8 till 4 a.m. You
Wow.
can work longer if you like, but it just meant that my schedule was backwards to everyone else's. And it meant that if anything was like before 1 p.m. in the afternoon, I was like, I can't go, I'll be asleep.
Mm, mm.
um, and it meant that I didn't see very much sunlight when I was working there.
It
And it was
doesn't sound like
kind of
an easy
depressing.
job in so many ways because I
Yeah.
think there's sometimes of that mentality of, oh, it must be nice to just go and do this, take your clothes off, get paid. The end. That sounds grueling, eight
Yeah.
hours of doing that.
Yeah, and you only make the money that you make from the private dances, and that's from
Oh,
go
really?
yeah.
There's no wage.
So you don't get paid. You pay to work there. So you have to go to
Right.
pay a house fee, a bit like a hairdresser. You pay a house fee, and then you've got to go up to people and try and get private dances from them, and that's
Gosh.
your money. So you just make all the cash that they give you.
And was it lucrative?
Yeah. It
Mm.
was lucrative. I was just doing that for a while.
What would
And
you say to someone who's thinking about the may as well of it all?
the other way as well, I know people that are working in the clubs now, and I know that it's a lot harder than when I was working there. It's people have less money now, and so it's not as lucrative as it used to be. Um, it's also, but it's at the same time, if you want to try it, I would say go for it. The worst thing that can happen is you don't like it
Mm,
and you don't do it again.
yeah, but you gave it a shot.
You can do one shift, you can do half a shift and be like, this isn't for me, and you can leave. So I'd say if you want to give it a go, do it.
So tell me about what sort of tone you're looking to strike with this stand-up show of is it celebratory of the stripping world? Is it anti? Is it in
Mhm.
between? What sort of angle are you trying to hit?
So it's a clowning show.
Mm,
So it's not stand up, it's clowning. So I'm playing this daycare worker at this men's daycare.
hmm
And it's very much a kind of play school vibe.
hmm
It's got that very sing-songy kids entertainer vibe while still me being like not wearing many clothes, and we're doing, lap dance to the hokey pokey kind of thing.
hmm
So it's very fun and it's very fun and naughty,
Have
I'd say.
you started testing out this character, or is it all going to be debuted at the festival?
So it kind of came about because I did a clowning workshop. I did
hmm
with Hannah Camilleri and
Friend of the show.
friend of the
Mm.
show, and I kind of developed this character in the clowning workshop, and the whole thing was that she had a purse, and the purse how can I say pussy on the show?
hmm
Is that fine?
You can only say
Can I only say pussy?
it.
Great.
It's the one bit of cursing you're allowed on this show.
Great. And the purse was her pussy that liked to talk.
hmm
And it was a bit of a friend dressed like, I love to talk. Hi. Put money in me. Oh. And so this character kind of came about from that. And then I've got someone's making me Elise Phillips making me a vulva puppet
hmm
for the
hmm
show.
hmm
In my kids entertaining, I did a lot of puppets. The kids loved puppets, and so I've got a vulva that's going to be kind of a bit of a dumb bitch.
Does she have a voice yet?
Um, The voice will come from, I think, what the vulva looks like, but
I want to meet the vulva.
yeah.
But, you
I
know,
mean, I think she'll probably have a cigarette, and I think she's got like a septum piercing, which looks like a clip piercing as well, and like some big hair. Also, she's got her nails did.
I feel like I'm inside the actors studio. Where
Yeah.
can we meet the vulva?
You can. You absolutely can.
In the mind's eye of the listener, the vulva's
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. But I had this thing happen to me in the strip club, which was I do have to tell this story because it's
Mm.
an amazing story. But I had this guy come up to me and we were chatting and he seemed interested in me, and then all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, I know where I recognize you from. You were the entertainer at my daughter's birthday party." And I was like, "Oh no." And then
Worlds collide.
yeah, and then but of course I put on my facade. I was like, "Oh my god, it's fate. Wow." And then I ended up making 3 grand off him.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa, whoa,
he
whoa.
wanted to go to VIP all night, and I was like, "Wow, I made her dreams come true. I'll make your dreams come true."
Goodness gracious.
Anyway,
Goodness gracious.
but that's kind of the vibe of the show is like,
How do we, yeah, I mean, because I'm so excited to see this show develop, and I'm excited to hear what you're thinking in terms of the development of it to strike that right tone, because that advertising copy promises a lot. And also the control element, I think I'm particularly intrigued about as well. Of a lot of us as artists are going, I want to be in control of everything essentially, and we have to relinquish control to some regard of what the experience is going to be like for the audience, but one where you are in control of, this is what I want to do. What is the relationship between the show and the audience experiences in like titillation? It's the same in burlesque of like,
yeah.
what is okay, this is for me, and I'm this is empowering. Well, that audience member might still be a fucking creep anyway. So tell me about that element of striking that right balance.
So the whole thing with the show is very similar to in the strip club. It's I'm becoming more and more doll like
Mhm.
for the audience. So the audience kind of feels like they're controlling me by the end of the show. Um, but of course, I need to stay in control while the audience is feeling like they're in control. And then I haven't kind of figured out exactly how I'm going to do the end yet, but it's going to I'll basically be de-dolling myself and
Mhm.
wanting to kind of tie in some of my like personal experiences and why this daycare exists and why these men need to be
Mhm.
looked after and why they can't be trusted by themselves. And so yeah, the whole thing is making them feel like they're in control and then being like, well, this is actually
The rug pull.
yeah, so it's kind of the rug pull, but also without being like blaming the audience and being like, this is your
You're
fault.
the enemy.
Yeah, all the
Mm.
men in the audience, this is your fault. So
Yeah.
it's because it's very much not that. It's very much like, what is the solution to this problem?
Mm. And it's, I mean, it's such a hard challenge when we want to go, whether we want to call it pathos or the
Mm.
rug pull, or I want to get real for a moment, or I
Mhm.
want to remove the mask. Now I'm going to be a Steph instead of my character,
Mm.
and kind of announce, here's the message of the show, or here's what I want to be saying. There is a delicate balance to hit,
Yeah.
and you might want to make everyone uncomfortable, or you might want to, who knows. So in terms of the development and discovering that, what's the plan with the rehearsal, the workshopping? Are you
Yeah.
working with someone?
Yeah, I've got Sophie Power
Mm-hmm.
directing, who
Right.
did Cunt. So that's really exciting because it's a very similar vibe. It's a clowning show where she played a giant vulva. So very, very similar. And going to be working with Hannah Camilleri a bit as well. I've got musicians on board too. So I'm going to have like a you know how Play School always has the underscoring, and I'll be doing a lot of nursery rhyme type stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
there'll be pianists as well. So I've got 3 pianists on board who'll come on board for the rehearsal process too.
And how far along are you in the development?
So I've got the whole show pretty much mapped out
Oh,
at the
great.
moment.
That's a
Yeah.
great place to be.
Yeah.
How are you able to be in January and have the whole show mapped out?
I think because I wanted to do this show for so long, I already knew what I wanted to do.
Mm,
So I've got sections like a play school episode, basically. So I have a craft section,
mhm.
and then I have a puppet section. I have a dance section. I have like a playtime section. And a story time section. So I already had these kind of ideas. They just needed um, a little bit of bringing out, but
Mhm.
they were kind of already fully formed in my head.
How much do you think you'll be able to because the question for so many stand-ups
Mm.
especially is, "Oh my god, how can I practice this in front of people?" Is it the sort of show that you can do in segments and spots if you wanted to at places like Elise Phillips' Script
Yeah.
Jam?
I think I probably should.
Mm,
So I'll try. It's the kind of thing where I do want to obviously test in front of an audience because I am becoming more doll like throughout the
mm.
show. There is some bits that I won't be able to test in front of, well, quite a bit of it I won't be able to test in front of an audience.
The narrative and the
Yeah.
depth to it.
Yeah. But those earlier segments, yeah, I'll definitely try
People
and
can get it
test.
pretty quickly,
Yeah.
which is what's so great. It's go, okay, it's a kids show in a really risque way.
Yeah.
We see the pussy puppet. We've there's not many other people. There's not many audience members scratching their head at that point of like,
Yeah.
what's going on? It's straightforward,
It's pretty clear.
which is the beauty of going to a clown workshop and finding characters in that clown atmosphere where it often is be funny, tell us what the thing is that you're highlighting,
Yeah.
and we'll tell you if it's hilarious. And then you go, ooh, I might be onto something here.
The only funny thing I got out of that workshop.
Yeah, were there some low points?
Oh, so many low points in that workshop.
Let's talk about
That
it.
workshop made me feel like I was not funny.
It's brutal, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
we played this game. It was musical statues, but the chair one. What's the chair one?
Zombie chairs?
Zombie chairs.
Musical chairs?
Musical chairs. Musical chairs. And when the music's on, you dance. The music stops. You find a chair. There's one person left without a chair, and if you're not funny, you are out of the game.
Oh, right. Yeah, like you can survive almost like a lip sync for your life if you be funny in that moment. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was the first one standing with no chair, and I was trying to make everyone laugh. I got no laughs, and Hannah was like, "You're out."
Yeah,
It's like,
God.
oh,
It's my re-audition all over
yeah,
again.
oh no. And there were so many of those moments in the workshop. You just step out, you do something, and everyone's like,
Yeah. You know what I hate too is those moments of looking to my peers in the room and them looking at me blankly and being like, how dare you?
yeah,
Like, come on. Like, aren't we all on the same side? But they're trying to be just as brutally honest as the clown master
yeah,
is of going, no, our job is to be laughing if it's funny. And I've played the role of clown master. I do a little bit of clowning in my stand-up
mm,
workshop just to give people a little taste. And if people are laughing politely in the audience,
yeah.
they're not doing you any favors.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like it's so uncomfortable, but I have never. But it was so helpful and it was
Mm,
so useful. I was like, this is. I haven't improved this much in a long time because I'm getting such brutal feedback about what's funny and what's not.
mm,
It's weird that the more that go into doing more comedy and more stand up and all this, I'm finding that I have this persona of this dumb bitch that keeps getting laughs, and if I divert from that, everyone's like, "What's this? It's not funny."
right. Yeah. That's
So
challenging. And which one's the more you? Who do you want to be?
who do I want to be? I mean, I don't mind being a dumb bitch. It's
Mm,
fine. I think I get I think people I've used it a lot to get what I want,
mhm.
from people.
It's come in handy.
Yeah, you just pretend to be dumb and then people do what you
Mm.
want. You're like,
But people,
"Ah."
everyone listening to this is going, I'm not listening to a dumb bitch right now. Like, so
I
it's
think
very much a persona. It's very much a
yeah,
move.
but I found with my comedy, if I'm not this dumb bitch, everyone's like, this isn't funny.
Well, what I would say, and I've only seen a limited amount, but I would assume, just like any time where we want to be shifting, experimenting in different zones, you're
Mm.
so comfortable in that area. And also, your material is tied to those areas. So
Exactly.
breaking away from that is both confronting and jarring for you and the audience. So
Yeah.
I want to just sort of underline for you and also the listener that if you're doing that, you need to now be patient and experimenting, because some people are looking for, oh no, I tried that, it didn't work for me, so I'm just going to
Mhm.
stay in this comfortable corner and never go and try that other thing again, when that could have led to who
Yeah.
knows what. And that's what you discovered in the clowning workshop is, oh, if I really make myself uncomfortable and see what else is out
Mhm.
there, there might be big rewards.
Well, this is also why I want to put this show on, because it's this whole persona that I've kind of crafted in my with my comedic voice is this whole character, and then at the end it's like breaking that character
Mm.
and trying to, I guess, make a real kind of statement by breaking away from that.
Have you seen Nate?
Nate.
Natalie Palamedes,
No.
drag king slash clown show. It's on Netflix. I think you'd really,
Can I write it down
yeah,
right now so
please.
I don't
I think you'd
forget?
really dig it, and because it also, and like anytime I talk about shows that relate to what people are working on, I
Nate.
never to say it's been done, but more to say here is someone doing a similar move, and you'll be able to both see
Mm.
how they approach it and how you might want to be counter or whatever to it. But it is a similar thing of going, I'm playing a character for this entire time, and now I'm going to drop the mask. It's a move as old as time, and
Yeah,
it's what you do with it that's important and
exactly.
exciting.
So who is it? Nate.
That's the name of the thing
Yeah.
is Nate, and then it's by Natalie Palamedes, who I won't dare try and spell her surname, but if you type Nate into Netflix, you'll get it.
Great.
And it's one of just the few clown shows available on streaming, but it also seems to line up
Yeah.
in a big way with what you're doing. I think you really dig it. Let's speak and what here's what check out this for a segue. What I think is going to be so great about your voice work, moving from the more dull voice to now I'm Steph, is going to be how, because how good you are, how well you do it, that transformation is going to be jarring and uncomfortable
Hmm.
and confronting in just itself. Anytime, and also in like those horror movies where someone's been playing a character and then drops it, and
Yeah.
they move back to their usual accent, just like, oh my god, who is this person?
Yeah.
That's going to be, you there'll be very little other bells and whistles required besides just like, oh shit, they've just
Yeah.
changed their posture ever so slightly, and they're talking differently to me. Oh my god, this is freaking me
Yeah, 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 yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. I'll take my wig off. I'll just, I'll drop my dumb bitch voice.
Yeah, it's gonna be that'll be enough, and then
Yep.
just to create that sort of eerie quality.
Yeah.
Let's talk voice. So when do you start thinking about voice work and voice acting, and yeah, how do those doors appear in your life?
What do you mean? How do those doors?
When does voice acting come along?
Oh, like when did it?
Mm.
So I'd always wanted to be I think I'd always wanted to be a voice actor. I'd always wanted to do it. But there wasn't really any clear pathways
Mhm.
unless you already had an acting agent, which I
Yeah.
didn't, because all the voice work was booked just through your acting agent.
Mhm.
And so I did a couple of voiceover jobs many years ago. I don't remember how I got them, but it didn't really go anywhere because I didn't have a demo, I didn't have a home recording space. And
And the
then,
demo is just a sort of like a show reel for your voice of here's a bunch of different examples of me.
yeah, so you have a demo for each different type of voiceover. So you have one for commercial, one for animation, one for video games, one for uh, narration,
Mhm.
all that different stuff. And then, like a lot of people, when lockdown hit and I couldn't work anymore, I was like, oh, I'll spend this time trying to do some voiceover. So I set up a little recording booth in my cupboard
Mhm.
and bought a microphone. And then I just started applying for just auditioning for stuff online. There's so many public voiceover auditions online,
Mhm.
and I got cast in a few things, and then I just kept doing that until I I'd done enough work to apply for an agent, and then I got a voiceover agent. I've
How
always
did you develop your chops, or did you just always have a good
um,
ear for voice?
I've always loved doing impressions, and I've always been able to do impressions, especially like cartoon impressions. And I did this this alphabet. There's a girl, there's a voice actor online, Brizzy Voices. I was obsessed with her, and she did this thing called alphabet aerobics. You know the song Alphabet Aerobics?
I do, by
Yeah, by
Blackalicious. Yeah.
Blackalicious, and she did a cartoon alphabet aerobics where each character, each letter of the alphabet was a different character that started with that letter, and she'd do the voice impression for each of those characters. And I was like, that's so cool. I want to try doing that. So I did a version of it and I put it up online. I'd never posted anything before, and it got 1 million views.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa.
I can just hear
Yeah.
everyone being really angry about that.
Yeah. I did credit her. I said, all this, but yeah. And then
That rules. What do you think was the special sauce? Because we talk about this on the podcast sometimes, and is the algorithm and social media and how to try and make stuff that's going to hit and find people. Were you able to figure out what it would have been special about that?
I don't know. I've got no idea, because I posted that video. It got 1 million views, and then I didn't post anything else on my YouTube. That was on my YouTube channel.
You're like, I've won. I've clocked it.
Yeah. This was before TikTok or anything else. So I've got no idea. No clue.
Have you done a repost on TikTok to see how it went?
I wouldn't know where it is.
Oh.
I think I deleted it off my YouTube because I think I did a big cull of everything, and I was like, I don't want this up here anymore.
You're not one of those creators that have that, if you scroll back far enough, you get to the real cringy.
No, I've deleted everything. Yeah. I've deleted everything.
I think like if you can scroll back to like Bo Burnham and find like the cringy early stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, so then I got a voiceover agent, and then I just started booking work through there, and then I booked some ongoing work doing some animation stuff, which was really cool. And so it built up really quickly.
What's the lifestyle like in a day in the life?
The day in the life of a voice actor, you're doing a lot of auditions. So you don't get cast for stuff really unless you're doing auditions. So I would go in the morning and have a look at all the auditions that I wanted to do. I was on some different casting websites.
And we talking about both, because in the industry there's talk of both, like what are those kind of the union rates versus just sort of what you might find on a website like Fiverr or something like that, where it's just I want to spend $100 to get someone to do a shitload of work. So are you looking at both, or have you started giving yourself limitations to what you'd say yes to?
So now I work under certain rates. Whereas before when I was building up my voiceover stuff and I hadn't really done anything, I was like, oh yeah, I'll do this job for $50. That's fine. This is like some small indie job for $50 seemed like
it's practice.
Exciting at
You're
the time.
cutting your teeth.
Yeah. Whereas now I wouldn't do that, but to gain experience, it's not bad. And yeah.
And what's your audio setup like? Because I'm sometimes recording at home doing intros of the podcast. My audio setup is okay, but I have started thinking about that, maybe getting a bit more fancy. Tell me about that.
My first voiceover setup was I had 2 wardrobes, and then I'd faced each other, and I put blankets across the wardrobes and on top.
You had to clear out some of the princess costumes.
The princess costumes were still in there. They were soaking up all the sound. So it was like,
perfect.
I had my princess costume. I was facing
all the tulle from your...
Yeah. All the glitter was soaking up all the sound. It wasn't a good setup. There was still a lot of room noise. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. The blankets were pretty thin. I didn't really know what I was doing. But now I've got a structure that's a little bit more sturdy. It's made out of PVC piping, and then it's got moving blankets all around the outside and the inside to soak up any noise.
And is it still in the cupboard, or is it sort of a freestanding
no,
sort of thing?
it's freestanding. So we have this little nook in the bedroom, which is just a perfect size for a voiceover.
We don't need to change topic. Oh, say the same topic. Okay. It's like, I don't need to hear about your bedroom nook.
This is
it's not that sort of show. Okay.
I mean, we've just been talking about my stripping for like half an hour. But it's the perfect size for a voiceover booth.
Mm.
So
How does your fiance
yeah.
feel about taking up that sort of real estate?
Yeah, fine. I mean, she built it.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
she
It's
built it for
collaborative.
me because I wouldn't know how to do it. She planned it all out. She drew the whole like blueprint of it and figured out how long all the different pipes needed to be, which connectors we needed, and she
And it
built
means
everything
you're
for me.
standing in the booth, which is better for your voice as well.
Yeah, so I can stand. Do I ever? Not
Oh.
really. I'm usually sitting down, but I can stand if I want to, which I've never been able to do in a voiceover booth that I've had at home, which is cool.
Now
Um,
everything was going so well for
mhm.
Steph, and then we cut to a nerd in a dark room, and he's typing some code away on a screen, and he's creating a program designed to replace all the voice actors in the world, and he's laughing maniacally at himself, and he's rubbing his hands together going, yes, yes, ha 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 ha. And his voice is not very good because it's his own voice. AI comes along. AI is
Mhm.
coming for your job.
Yeah. So what had happened is I was doing voiceover basically full time, and so I was getting enough work to do it full time, but I still had my party business. So I wanted to stop doing.
Can one woman do it all?
Can she? No, she can't. I sold my party business, which I wanted to do for a while. I was over doing kids' parties.
Eventually, you just have to let it go.
Uh,
Marcel looks down the lens. One, two, three,
uh,
4, 5, and we're back.
and I, um, and then I sold my party business and I got a bunch of tattoos because I was like,
You
yeah,
made some. You
finally.
made some cash.
Yeah.
Because
So,
I would struggle to. I mean, I have a hard time putting a dollar amount on any
yeah,
of the things that I offer to people,
yeah.
and it's been a whole journey to go. I'll start charging people this amount, and oh,
Mhm.
actually, maybe I'll start charging them this amount. Uh, so obviously we don't have to talk about dollar figures, but enough to get a bunch of tattoos. Like, were you able to be like, yeah, this thing is worth this amount of dollars, and were you happy with what you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I sold it and then bought an apartment. So
So a very
yeah.
lucrative business.
So
Well
it was
done.
good. Yeah, thank you. But
I'm
then what
not used
happened?
to chatting to such successful people, especially younger people, and it makes me. How old are you?
I'm not that young.
Yeah,
I'm not that young.
you have a youthful energy.
Thank you. I'm 31.
Oh yeah, well you're
So
younger than me, and I mean I'm 37, um, and it's not to be in like a because I guess, and this is what's confronting. And I just talked to a comedian named Sweeney Preston, and he's younger as well, and he's getting older, but he'll always be younger.
mhm,
And I think there's just something about the people that are younger and the people that are also just doing the value of doing things off in your own corner
mhm.
is such an impressive thing in the creative arts, where people are, as you said, with the musical theater world going, what do you have to offer? What can you give me? And what's the value of this relationship?
Mhm,
There's something so powerful about I made my own business, I did my own thing over here.
mhm,
It was so successful that I was able to sell it and buy an apartment while I followed my passion
mhm.
for other things. Yeah, oh, fuck yeah, love that. It's especially in a world where we're just so aware and often told you got to be telling everyone what you're doing at all times. It's
Yeah.
awesome. That's great.
Well, what happened then was, so I bought the apartment. I got two older cats with chronic health problems that are very expensive.
Just to
But they're
humble yourself.
beautiful. They're beautiful. I love
Everything's
them.
going too well in my life.
Yeah.
I've got to
Yeah.
let's make it harder.
No, I love old cats. I love
Uh-huh.
them. I wanted to adopt old cats. Um, and then what happened was all of my work started to disappear.
Mm.
And I was like, I've just bought this
Yeah,
apartment and
God.
got these senior cats with health problems. Sold my business, and all of a sudden, everyone was starting to use AI voices,
Terrifying.
and I was like, well, fuck. I have a brand new mortgage,
Mm.
that I've spent all my money on this apartment, and
You're
then
like someone who really, really invested in the horse and carriage
yeah,
business.
yeah. And so then after, I think it was about a year after I bought my apartment, maybe 6 months to a year, I was like, I need to find other work. And
I'll get into stand-up comedy.
yeah, I've I've made $20. And yeah, and so then I was like, what do I do? And I was putting in the same amount of work in terms of submitting auditions and doing all this um
Just give us a picture of
putting
just
in
how confronting it was. Like, you're going for similar jobs that just don't exist, or they're
yeah.
paying less. Like, what is it? What would the landscape suddenly look like?
So I was doing a certain amount of jobs for my agent every month, and then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden I was just like the number of jobs was just declining. And it was like this for everybody. It wasn't just me.
Because they've gone,
Yeah.
for people that haven't been paying attention, I guess,
Mm.
for things like commercials and all sorts of things, they're going, well, hold on, I can just put this into a machine and it will spit out the
Yeah.
same thing more or less. There was that radio DJ, I think, Queensland or New South Wales, that was a robot, and
Yeah, T. I think she's
yeah,
still on the air.
but they
Yeah.
didn't disclose it
No, that was a
until
whole
yeah.
thing. So I think that was at the start of the year. They found
Mm.
out that this radio presenter was completely AI generated, and
Mm.
they had not disclosed it for 6 months. The only reason that anyone knew about it was because that they, um, the news, a reporter got a tip off from someone that knew that it was an AI voice,
Mm.
and
She kept saying phrases like, I'm going to drink some water like a human would.
yeah,
Glug, glug, glug.
yeah.
Oh, I need that to live.
Uh-huh,
Mm.
uh-huh. What a nice breath I just took. Fresh air. Love that. Um,
All the humans will die. We're
yeah.
coming for you.
But yeah, and so they didn't disclose that it was AI, and so it creates this whole issue. It's like, well, does it need to be disclosed if a voice is AI generated or a person is not real? Because everyone thought this was a real
Mm.
person. The other issue with this radio presenter was that
And all those people in the strip clubs that really thought you liked them. What about
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Do we need to disclose that? This is not real.
This is not real. But the other issue with it was that she was Asian. So they had given her a picture. She had a picture on the website, and she was across all their 3 networks. She was the only person of color.
They were
Across their
using
whole
her as a diversity hire?
yeah, so not only
Wow.
was she an AI voice, she was a diversity hire. And she was, but everything that was being programmed for her to say was being programmed by these white dudes.
Wow.
And
Tell people where they can find information about your show. You're doing Melbourne.
I'm doing Melbourne Comedy Festival from April 6 to 19. Should I look at you? Should I look at the camera? Where should I look? I'll look at you. I would stare into your
I
eyes.
love that you call them dear listener. I call them dear listener.
I was just mimicking what you were saying.
Oh, it's the masking thing.
Yeah, it's the masking. I just copy what anyone else says. The Motley Bauhaus, 6 to 19th of April.
And where can they find you on the internet?
On the internet, you can find me on Instagram at Steph Crothers. On Instagram, that's Steph, STEPH, CROTHERS. You can find me on TikTok, Steph_Crothers.
And I want to send people to your TikTok, especially, or both Instagram and TikTok. Last year there was this exciting moment where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna make some stuff for the internet, and I got to watch your stuff just blow up over time, which was really, really exciting. So for listeners, because we don't have time to talk about it, but maybe next time, but people can go back and see that evolution of, I'm just putting stuff out and seeing audiences get on board.
Yeah, well, my goal for the year was to get 10,000 followers on TikTok, and I ended up with, now I've got 64,000 followers. So,
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool.
I can I do the maths this quickly, but I think there's about 63,000 more followers on TikTok than I have. So give me some. Just give me some.
Give you some. Go follow Marcel on TikTok.
Thank you.
But
on my own podcast.
But I still have hardly any followers on Instagram, so it doesn't.
So
doesn't
look, this is the thing. Humble, okay?
Yeah,
I'm still working hard. I don't have it all.